All right, guys. So, correction on the NXT one. Moment of the night for me was actually not Wade Barrett saying balance because Wade Barrett ain't an announcer. It was Oba and Yoshiki with the respect they showed for each other in the backstage interview after the match. But let's get into Women's Evolution. This was easily my favorite PLE of the year. Obviously, I went 4-3 in my matches. I missed the women's tag team title match, even though the people I picked to win didn't get pinned. Still didn't win the match. I missed Jordynne Grace and Jacy Jayne. I missed Jordynne Grace and Jacy Jayne match, and then I missed Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai match, which I probably shouldn't have missed. But let's get into the first matchup with Bayley, Becky, and Lyra for the Women's Intercontinental title. This was a hell of a match. A lot of pressure on them to start the Women's Evolution because this was only the second time we've ever had a Women's Evolution. First time in 7 years. So there's a lot of pressure on the three. Becky and Bayley showed why they're two of the goats of this business. And Lyra showed why she's an up-and-coming star. With Becky picking up the win here, I'm giving this match 4.5 out of 5. Then we move into Jacy Jayne and Jordynne Grace. Jacy Jayne and Jordynne Grace. Solid match. This was the best. Jordynne did her thing. Jordynne does what she does in every match she performs. I've never seen a bad match out of Jordynne Grace, really. But Jacy Jayne, I'm not a big fan of her, but she was very dominant in that match yesterday. And this was her best match by far. Now, even though I don't like her, the thing is she's the most beatable champion. That's what the moniker is right now. And I don't think that's the case. I don't think she has like a 3-6 month run with it. I think she will eventually lose in the next couple months to probably Blake Monroe. But this match ended with Blake turning heel, which is the way it should have been because we know obviously Fatal Influence was in Jacy's corner, so Blake came out with her because Jordan asked Blake to come out, and Blake turned on her at the end. Handed the title back to Jacy. Kind of looked at her. We know we're going to get probably a Blake Monroe and Jacy Jayne match. But Jordynne Grace and Jacy Jayne, 4 out of 5 stars for this. They did their thing. Showing why the women's NXT division is also, well, along with the main card division, the best in the world. Then the third matchup, we had the Women's Tag Team Championship match. I had my wife Alexa Bliss, and Charlotte Flair winning this. Obviously, they didn't win, but they didn't get pinned, but it still lost because my people I picked didn't win. I'm giving this match. I thought it could have been a fatal 4-way, but all 4 women, all 4 of these teams showed how great they are as tag teams, how great they are when they're individually on their own. When they're on their own individually, they showed how great they are. We know what Charlotte. The crowd chanting, "We want Charlotte" in this match, just goes to show me we're obviously right now getting some type of a babyface run out of Charlotte. Obviously Charlotte and Alexa didn't win. I would like to see Charlotte and Alexa get another crack at the tag team titles and win them and have a lengthy run with them. Because I like Charlotte and Alexa together. At one point, Alexa was about to get speared by Zarya. Charlotte pulled her out of the way. I thought that was awesome. But yeah, Raquel and Roxanne pick up the win here. 4 out of 5 star match for this 4 out of 5 stars for this women's tag team match. And then we move to the 4th match of the night, which was the 4th match, which was the WWE Women's Championship match between Trish Stratus and champion Tiffany Stratton. Trish, at 49 years old, who will turn 50 this year in December, she showed the world last night that she has still got it. That she is still, if she wrestled every week, she'll be a top star in this industry. That is amazing at her age, that she can still go out there and put a show on like that. So thank you, Tiffy, for bringing her here to have a match. We don't know when her last ever one will be, but if that was it, what a hell of a match to go out on. Trish showed Tiffy showed why she is the top female star on SmackDown right now. She's on her hell of a run right now. She's beaten the likes of Nia Jax twice. She's beaten Charlotte Flair. Couple other big stars that she's went up against and beat. I honestly think Charlotte used to be the standard bearer now for the women's division on the SmackDown brand once she got over there. I think on the SmackDown brand alone, Tiffany Stratton is now the standard bearer on that side on SmackDown. Tiffany Stratton is the standard bearer on SmackDown for the women's division, if you ask me. So I'm giving Tiff and Trishie 4.5 out of 5. So now we move into our 5th match, which was my least favorite match of the night. Jade Cargill and Naomi in a no-holds-barred match with Bianca as a special referee. I thought it was a good no-holds-barred match. I thought it could have been a little bit better. But obviously, it was what it was. This match told a story and served the purpose between Jade and Naomi with their feud. I think it might be over for a while now, and I'll tell you why here in a little bit. But Jade picking up the win here. I'm still going to give this match 4 out of 5. I debated between 3.5 and 4, but I'm giving it a 4 because I still think they both did a great job. They sold the story. They sold moves. Their first match sucked. I thought their first match together at Mania sucked. It just felt like they were off. They didn't know what they were doing. They had to keep looking at each other, I felt, and asking each other what the next move was. But yeah, 4 out of 5 for Jade Cargill and Naomi. 4 out of 5 stars for Jade Cargill and Naomi. They did their thing. They sold the story. Least favorite match of the night. It was just solid for me. And then we move into the Battle Royal. For the winner got a shot at a future championship shot at Clash in the Paris, at the end of August, first part of September there. I think can't remember when Clash in the Paris was, but I think it's at the end of August. We don't know. It didn't specify which title. But we had some NXT stars. Lash Legend did the best of the NXT stars. She was the last in. She was last of the 2 people that were in the match. It wasn't like the women's battle royal at the Royal Rumble, but it was still a decent Royal Rumble. 4 out of 5, had some moments in there. Obviously, at the beginning, it looked like the Raw was sticking with Raw, SmackDown brand was sticking with SmackDown brand, NXT brand was sticking with NXT brand. I'm still giving the Battle Royal 4 out of 5. I'm still giving the Battle Royal a 4 out of the Women's Battle Royal a 4. I'm still giving the Women's Battle Royal a 4 out of 5 stars. With Stephanie Vaquer picking up the win, she now gets a title shot. She now gets a Women's World title shot, I'm assuming, against the Women's World Champion since she's on Raw. And now we move on to the main event. The Classic. The best match of the night, maybe match of the year, Rhea Ripley going up against the then current champion, Io Sky. This match had everything. This match left you breathless. It made you feel so much emotion. Whether you're a guy or male or female, this match had everything. Raw emotion, happiness. You were in awe, you were in shock. At one point you were happy, at one point you were sad, at one point you couldn't believe what was going on. Rhea's had some classic matches, so has Io. These two do not put on bad matches. When they're in the ring together, everyone has been classic, 5-star. And this match was no difference. For me, not just match of the night, not just match of the night, match of the year candidate for this match right here. Match of the year, maybe match of all time for me, boys. Match of all time. Obviously, they were near the end of this match. At one point, the ref got knocked down. Io had her pin. Didn't happen. This went to the outside. Io jumped off the little fucking suitcases or cases that were out there. She was probably a good 15 feet in there. She jumped off from onto Rhea. That was another classic Io moment. Then ref had got knocked down before they were fighting outside. Then Rhea, they got to the ring. At one point in the match, Rhea riptide her, could have pinned her, but the ref was down. And then they went fighting outside, and then Io jumping off the 15 feet out of the air onto Rhea, and then they fought back to the ring. Rhea was on the top at one point. Spanish Fly. Naomi came out. Io gave Rhea a Spanish Fly. That was bad. A bad Mamma Jamma moment right there. So I'm going to end this right now and do a part 2, guys.